जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जन रंजन जमुना तीरावनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 रामा राम रामा हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 रामा राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय जय प्रभुपाद जय जय गुरुदेव श्रीपाद निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय श्री राधा माधव भगवान की जय। जय श्री लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय। जय गौर निताय की जय। जय पंचतत्व की जय। जय जगत गुरु श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। पतित पावन श्रीपाद महाराज की जय। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 17, Text number 29. Dehinam dehas sanyogad dvandvanishvara leelaya sukham dukham mritirjanma shapu anugraha evacha. Dehinam deha sanyogad द्वंद्वानि ईश्वर लीलया सुखम दुखम मृत्युजन्म शापोनुग्रह एव च. Translation and purport by Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai ho, jai ho. Because of the actions of the Supreme Lord's external energy, the living entities are conditioned in contact with material bodies. The dualities of happiness and distress, birth and death, curses and favors are natural byproducts of this contact in this material world. Purport. In Bhagavad Gita, we find Mayadhyakshanena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. Maya Maya ad, Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suyate Sa Characharam. The material world works under the direction of the goddess Durga, the material energy of the Lord, but she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is also confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Srishti Sthiti Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha Jaiva Yasya Bhuvanani Vibharti Durga. Durga, the goddess Parvati, the wife of Lord Shiva, is extremely powerful. She can create, maintain, and annihilate any number of universes by her sweet will, but she acts under the direction of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, not independently. Krishna is impartial, but because this is the material world of duality, such relative terms as happiness and distress, curses and favors are created by the will of the Supreme. Those who are not Narayan Para, pure devotees, must be disturbed by this duality of the material world. Whereas devotees who are simply attached to the service of the Lord are not at all disturbed by it. For example, Haridas Thakur was beaten with cane in 22 bazaars, but he was never disturbed. Instead, he smilingly tolerated a beating. Despite the disturbing dualities of the material world, devotees are not disturbed at all because they fix their minds on the lotus feet of the Lord and concentrate on the holy name of the Lord. They do not feel the so called pains and pleasures caused by the dualities of this material world. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanasalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarup Damodar Swaminiti Namine Nama Sadbhakta Manaya Mani Purudbhavaya Cha Prabhupadla Sadvani Prachara Niritayate Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityanand Shri Advait Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I will offer my most humble obeisances to Maharajis, all sannyasis, all Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis, everyone in this gathering, and will request them to bless me so that I can get the power to speak. So Lord Shiva, he is telling Mata Parvati that her act of cursing Chitraketu has been rendered useless. So she should not feel great about it. He is mildly scolding Mata Parvati. He's saying that we two were having friendly banter, some friendly reciprocation. I and Chitraketu were having some friendly reciprocation, jokingly. But you came from nowhere and disturbed us. And not only disturbed, you cursed him. So this is not befitting you. You should not have done that. So you take care and do not repeat it with Narayan Para. Narayan Para means those who are, let's see how Srila Prabhupada ji has translated, because the translation is very amazing. Yesterday, we went through this shloka, this one, right? नारायण परः सर्वेन कुतश्चन बिभ्यति स्वर्ग अपवर्ग नरकेष्वपि तुल्यार्थ दर्शिनः. Narayan Para. So Srila Prabhupada ji has translated it as Narayan Para are the pure devotees who are interested only in the service of Narayan, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So they are interested in the service of Narayana. They are interested in Narayana, but more than that, if we zero in more, they are interested in service of Narayana. So Guru Maharaj is the personification of service to Krishna. Guru Tattva means is incarnation of service to Krishna, to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this Narayan Para can safely be retranslated as pure devotees who are interested only in Guru Maharaj. There is absolutely no difference. So Guru Maharaj is the service incarnation, and devotees as disciples we should be more interested in pleasing Guru Maharaj. So Narayan Para hence can very safely be also translated as Guru Para. So one who is Guru Para, one who is only thinking about pleasing his Guru Maharaj, for him the dualities cease to exist because he's single focused, right? He's only concerned about the pleasure of his Guru Maharaj. So this Swarg Naraka obviously they don't matter to him. And Apavarga also don't appeal to him, liberation. Because he is focused on the pleasure of Guru Maharaj, on the seva of Guru Maharaj. In seva can be done here also. So he is not very much bothered about. Earlier तो ये motivation रहता है कि we want to rush back to Godhead. But Narayan Paraha, Paraha means when even that thought is replaced by nothing else, other than the pleasure of Guru Maharaj, when the consciousness is completely tuned like that, when there is no other desire other than Guru Para, Guru Paratva, then that is the meaning of Narayan Para. So in such heart, in such minds, there is no existence of even going back to Godhead. This is very evolved consciousness. They are thinking only about how to please their Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj's service can be done anywhere. Guru Maharaj service can be done here also on this earthly planet, right? So he's just simply taking pleasure in executing the instructions of Guru Maharaj, and this is causing him great transcendental joy. And because of this transcendental joy, he is not at all concerned about Swarg, Narak, and Apavarg, and he is therefore uh, not bewildered by these dualities of this ethereal world. So in this shloka, today's shloka, it is said, Dehi Nam Dehe Sanyogat. Dehi Nam means one who is instead of Guru Paraha, Guru Paratva. If he is being Dehe Paratva, Dehi Nam, that is the idea. One who is not Narayan Paraha, one who is not attached to the service of Sriman Narayan or Krishna, which it is symptomized by his being Deha Paratva. Deha Paratva means he's being attached to his body, gross body as well as subtle body. He is still catering to the needs or desires of his body. There are some physical desires and then there are some mental desires. And because of that attachment to body, which essentially is the direct consequence of his being attached to himself, then the external energy of the Lord, right? Ishwar Lilaya. Here Lilaya would mean Maya. Because Maya is also working under the presidency of Supreme Lord. So he will immediately be grasped by the external energy. So one who is working for Guru Maharaji, he is working under the umbrella of internal energy, right? And one who is Dehinam, working for his body, he is, or one who is not Guru Para, right? He is, it should be understood that he is, he will be caught, he'll be trapped by the external energy. So what is the problem with the external energy? The problem with external energy is that then he has to face dualities. Because Dehi Nam, because he's attached to the body, and this body means duality, right? The moment one is attached to the body, one is immediately, one will oscillate in this word of dualities, happiness and distress, because these words, happiness and distress, Janma Mrityu, they all apply to body. Janma and Mrityu, they apply to body, right? And Dukh and Sukh, they also apply to body, mind. So one who is attached to the body, right? His bodily comfort zone. Actually, Narayan Para means, Guru Para means no comfort zone, right? No comfort zone at all. We have to ask ourselves. I have to ask ourselves. Comfort zone means, comfort zone immediately symptomizes. Immediately it establishes that we are seeking for, or we are still attached to our body. Dehinam. Dehinam word is very important, dear devotees. Dehinam is exact antonym of Narayan Para. One who is attached to the service of Narayana, or one who is attached to the service of his body. So who is Narayan Para? He's safe. He's safe. He feels safe because he is protected by the internal energy of God, the internal potency. Whereas one who is Dehapara, Dehinam, he is caught by the external energy, and then there are dualities, and these dualities are pretty much pertaining to his contact with the material body, because these dualities, the concepts like sukh, dukh, janma, mrityu, curses and favor, they apply only to the body, only to the material body. So therefore, such people who are not Narayanpara will have to suffer like this in the duality, in the oscillate, in the dualities. So these two shlokas, yesterday's shloka and today's shloka, they are like, they are called tulana. They are doing the comparison between the pure devotees and others. The pure devotees are always, you know, equipoised, and they maintain the equanimity of their consciousness. They are not disturbed, whereas the others, you know, who are still attached to their body and who are still seeking for some comfort zone, they will definitely be, they will have to have a hard time with the dualities present in this material external energy. So let me find out something. So therefore, this comparison is something we should understand that, and we have to ask ourselves. We have to ponder where we want to be. Do we want to be tousled again and again by these waves of dualities, sukh and dukh? Someone may say that, okay, Prabhu, there is dukh, but there is sukh also, na? That sukh is worth trying for. But that sukh is actually temporary, and the sukh does not long last. For its small flickering happiness, we have to undergo so much turmoil, right? For a small happiness, right? One is trying day and night, and and he's working hard, right? Suffering so much, and when would the, let's say, the moment of happiness came when he turns into 80, turns to 80. That is when he can retire, and he can live in his sprawling palatial bungalow, and but then uh, next day, let's say, the death comes. So all these things are already known to us, right? Known to us that this flickering happiness, this happiness is flickering. So in essence, actually, there is no duality. Actually, this material world is only full of miseries. But because of our stubbornness, and because of our being still very much attached to our body, we will not relinquish very easily this idea that this material world, right, is still offers avenues of happiness. We we are so much clinging to this very strongly, very deep rooted this thing is. Like Vishnu Chakravarti Thakur ji is saying, our situation is like someone who has been thrown into the mine of salt. In the mine of salt, there are some areas which are very salty, and then there are some areas which are less salty. And we start calling those areas which are less salty as sweet. That is our ignorance. Actually, this is only salty, but suppose somewhere at some place, if there sounds, if it's tastes little less salty, less saltier, and we say it is sweet, then that is our stubbornness, right? So similarly, in this material world, it is only dukh and dukh and dukh. But sometimes, because of our comfort zone, if suppose some moment of dukh kind of justifies or is very much in line with our comfort zone, and we start calling that moment of dukh as moment of happiness, is that not instance, is, or does that not hint at our stubbornness, you know? So the comfort zone is actually very much it is so lucrative that sometimes people, they make groups to manipulate with the instruction, or to manipulate with the injunctions in the shastras. In the shastra it is said, satyam param dhimahi, we should serve the we should serve absolute truth. But they will manipulate, and this manipulation act is what does this manipulation act mean? This means that satya should serve us, or we will not change ourselves, we will change the satya, right? So in this way, because we are so much attached to ourselves, our own comfort zone, we like to really play with the instruction and the injunctions, so that we can justify being where we are already. So so we have to ask ourselves that where we are, you know. We are trying so day and night, we are slogging so much for a momentary happiness. If we slog the same amount for the happiness of Guru Maharaj Ji, right, then it would have been a completely different situation. There is only the same amount of slogging. In fact, uh, why are we slogging in this material world? Because we want something for us. Why are we, and why are we not so much focused in slogging for Guru Maharaj Ji? Because there is not enough motivation. If the motivation is there, if my company is offering me 5 lakh per month, let's say, then I will be very much motivated to work day and night. But in the service of Guru Maharaj, there is no salary, so there is no motivation. Seems to be a thankless service, right? Uh, there is no recognition, no salary, and chastisement on top of that. My goodness! First of all, there is no favorism, and on top of that, chastisement, right? Why do I have to slog? I'll rather go, and this is what I have to. I tell myself. So so we have to do this pondering act. We have to tell ourselves where we are, you know, where is our motivation. If our motivation is the pleasure of Guru Maharaj, Guru Paratva, then even the chastisement by senior devotees, it will cause us great joy. Pretty much like, you know, mothers. Mothers, when they chastised us when we were small, we did not like her, but now when we are grown up, we miss that chastisement. And we really want a chastising mother, no? A mother who scolds us, who corrects us, who beats us. Now, do we like to have that mother who is hesitating, who is living in fear? In some families, the parents live in fear कि कहीं मेरा बेटा घर से निकाल ना दे हमको. तो वो डर डर के बात करते हैं. They talk in fear when they deal with their son. They talk in fear, they hesitate. ये उस बेटे के लिए बहुत शर्म की बात है. It is such a shame on that son. If mother, instead of chastising, is hesitating, right? It is such a shame. It is very, really, very shameful thing for the son. Similarly, if our seniors, right, they are hesitating and they are just doing some formal act, you know. Hesitation means they are not feeling liberal to chastise and correct us because of our attitude problem, then ये भी हमारे लिए शर्म की बात है. ये भी, it is also not a good news. If you are not receiving chastisement every day, if you are receiving only favorite words or sweet words, yeah, Prabhuji, you are wonderful, and right? So we should understand that our day has not been successful. There is a barrier. There is a barrier between me and my seniors. And that barrier is my own attitude problem, my own selective comfort zone, right? So we have to break this barrier. Whenever our seniors chastise us, we should take joy, right? That is how we should daily, daily we should kind of examine ourselves, and we have to kind of enjoin ourselves this thing that आज chastisement मिला कि नहीं मिला, मुझे chastisement मिला. इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि we deliberately do acts of which kind of invite chastisement, but at the same time we should understand it. If our seniors are feeling hesitation and keeping the relation only formal because they are worried that we might react or we might leave, so then that's something which we have to like work upon. Are we understanding? Chastisement is a blessing from Krishna. Chastisement, whenever chastisement comes, as Paramatma, Krishna is udasin, indifferent. He is not chastising. But as Krishna, when we take shelter of Krishna, Bhagwan, then he will chastise. He'll definitely chastise. So this chastisement will come from Guru Maharaj, chastisement will come from seniors. So this chastisement is a blessing from Krishna. That way we have to take this chastisement. And I tell you, it is not easy. It is hard. It is the hardest thing. But then we have not come here to do easy things now. We have come here to do hard things. So therefore, one who is not open to this chastisement, he will definitely be inviting the dualities, and the dualities will then tossle him. We are ready to be chastised by the dualities, but we are not ready to be chastised by devotees. So that explains our motivation. We are so motivated in self fulfillment that we don't even bother to stay in this material world being tossed by these waves of dualities. But for pure devotees, these dualities, they don't matter. Well, I'll give you a very funny example. For example, you must have been finding people talking like this कि onion के rates बढ़ गए. Onions have become costly. You must have definitely heard. But these talks, they don't affect us because we don't consume onions. Onions cheap ho ya saste ho ya महंगे ho, they don't bother us. Similarly, the sukh and dukh, they are like rates of these onions, right? Because pure devotees, they are not attached to their body. They are not dehinam. They are not dehe paratva. Therefore, they are rid of Visham Darshan. Rather, they are Samdarshi. They are not Vishamdarshi. Right? This Sukh, Dukh, curses and favors, shrap and anugraha, and janma mrityu, they don't affect them anymore. I mean, when the time of mrityu comes, we generally freak out. But have you seen the pure devotees? Anyone there? When the time of their departure is coming, they are actually more joyful. I mean, if you look at that video of Srila Prabhupada, when they are taking Srila Prabhupada in palanquin, and these are like last days, and Srila Prabhupada is still smiling, sitting in that palanquin. So it means, like His Holiness Govind Maharaj Ji keeps telling us, Mrityu is like I Milan ki bela. Mrityu is my, like, okay, I'm getting closer. So Mrityu becomes even more joyful. So we have to go a long way, dear devotees, long way. And the only problem is our attitude problem. And if we work on our attitude, uh, work on our attitude day and night, if we better ourselves, and we are open to chastisement, and we start seeing the chastisement as mercy of Krishna, and we start taking joy. Or my seniors, they are, वो मुझे अपना मानते हैं इसलिए चेस्टाइज कर रहे हैं. तो ये फीलिंग कि वो मुझे अपना मानते हैं, ये हमको जॉय देना चाहिए. But if the reciprocation is formal, then we should think, why is this reciprocation formal? क्या वो मुझे अपना नहीं मानते? मेरे में अंदर कोई गलती है कि वो मुझे ये दूरी बना के रखे हुए हैं? So then we should work, and we should actually, bhakti means that we have to be owned by this family. We have to own this family. We have to be owned by this family. This family of our God brothers, wherein it is so easy to break, so easy to split, thanks to Kali Yuga. So if we just cater to the unanimously to the pleasure of Guru Maharaj Ji, then we will remain bonded together, and then we will not be affected and disturbed by the chastisement. In fact, we will love chastisement. Okay, so thank you very much. That's what pretty much I had to share. So the idea is Dehinam and Narayan Paratva. Narayan Paratva is, I really liked yesterday's class by Achit Prabhu. Narayan Paratva means one who is interested, one who is attached to the service of Narayan. Srila Prabhupada Ji has not translated as attached to Narayan, who is attached to service of Narayan, and Guru Maharaj Ji is the incarnation of that service. So Narayan Paratva means Guru Paratva. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Sanatan Prabhu. Okay, I think I'll have to do this.
Thank you, Roji, for this wonderful class. Govind Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna, Srikant Prabhu.
Saligram Maharaj.
Yes, even when you are just recuperating, you manage to come and bless the whole atmosphere, all of us. So that's wonderful. And so, so wonderfully capturing this Narayan Para concept, establishing the Swarup of Sri Guru is the servitor God. So that's most wonderful. So yesterday's class and today's class, the whole emphasis was to really make it understood that hankering or aspiring for the direct service of Krishna or Narayan, the reality of it is what pleases Narayan, correct?
Right. Maharaj.
So, and even Krishna establishes that one who considers or one who becomes devotee of my devotee is recognized, acknowledged by me as my devotee. That's a very profound statement in Adi Purana. It's very so. In spite of that, and all the secrets Krishna revealing, and here also Shukadeva Goswami revealing, still the tendency of a sadhaka is to get to God directly, correct? Krishna.
Yes.
And so, but the secret of success is that rather than trying to attach oneself to Krishna, who is still beyond our experience, being Adhokshadev, and Krishna being totally independent, as Krishna describes that he's Samoham Sarvabhuteshu, and his equality is very mysterious because apparently it is not like that. So, because Krishna does not interfere with the karma, जो कर्मा का जो ग्राफ है, because he does not interfere, because he is aloof, he is equal. You sow as you reap, correct? That is what Krishna has established, the rule of the world. But that is not the rule. That is not the function of the devotee, isn't it? We do not. So can you show some more that how taking shelter of Sri Guru or a pure devotee is greater in achievement than directly just taking shelter of Krishna, or insisting to just do away with everyone and just I'm interested only in Krishna. Because Krishna can do sometimes funny things. How a Guru's kripa or Guru's shelter excels even taking shelter of Krishna. Some examples, some ideas in our scriptures, or you want to share?
Thank you very much, Maharaj. Let me try. Please bless me. Actually, we like to modify this statement that Krishna does not interfere. Actually, he does interfere in the life of devotees. And that's what Vishnu Chakravarti Thakurji is saying. Ye Bhagavatam, why is Bhagavatam so unique? Because in other Puranas, our Param Puja, Gaur Govind Maharaji told one class, in other Puranas, they would talk about the Utkantha of devotees. But in Bhagavatam, the emphasis is only on the Utkantha of Krishna. Krishna is also very eager and desperate. So he interferes in the life of devotees, whosoever, neophyte devotees, any devotee. He interferes. As Paramatma, will not interfere. But as Krishna interference start. And the very first interference is that, or shall I say, the maturity of this interfering act is the appearance of Guru Maharaj, sending of Guru Maharaj, and then all the sequence of chastisements. Guru Maharaj ji जो chastise करते हैं, correct करते हैं, और जो instruct with instruction, ये सब interference acts ही हैं कृष्णा के. Krishna is interfering with the aid of Guru Maharaj. And if the disciple goes little bit astray, Krishna will not stop interfering. Krishna will bring him back. And in the episode of Maharaj Chitraketu, who is actually beyond beyond the concept of karma and phala, who is already a premi bhakta, how is he interfering? So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying his Utkanta, whose Utkanta? Krishna's Utkanta has reached to such height that he could not stay for a single moment away from Chitraketu, and he made this arrangement. So I have written I wanted to share this. So why did this episode of cursing manifest, cursing by Mata Parvati? Is that Krishna was very desperate to have his devotee extolled for their seeing curses and blessings, Swarga and liberation equally. That is number one. He wanted his he wanted the glories of Chitraketu to spread. We are glorifying Maharaj Chitraketu. So he arranged for this shrapa, this cursing act, because he wanted us to extol his being equipoised and so isn't it great? That is number one. Number two, he wanted to remove his improper life as Vidyadhar. Number three, he wanted to increase his anger for prema by the fire of separation. So this is Krishna's very famous strategy. That by the fire of separation, the hunger for even more prema increases in premi bhakta. And lastly, to bestow the great sweetness of direct service to Chitraketu, and even more lastly, to satisfy his own quenching. Supreme Personality of Godhead has quenching to be united with his devotee as soon as possible. So therefore, this whole shrap act, जो है इसके पीछे all these reasons are there. So Krishna definitely interferes. So all these acts of miseries for non-devotees, the miseries are there to only, I don't know, they for practicing devotees, the miseries are to increase their humility 1,000 times. And in the case of exalted devotees like Chitraketu, the miseries are there to increase their already existing prema 1,000,000 trillion times. And this is how Krishna interferes. And Krishna will interfere. Krishna has already, once we have been accepted by Guru Maharaji, Krishna will interfere but it's the ball is in our court. We have to see that how much how we see this interference act, this chastisement. If the chastisement is there, we can either run away, and in this way we can miss it a big time, or we can take this chastisement as a direct interference by Krishna. Or Krishna is so concerned about me that he is sending his blessing in the form of chastisement. So Maharaji was asking for an example. I think this example I have given of not I have given this example of Maharaj Chitraketu is a very nice example. Example of Maharaj Bharat is a very nice example. So Prabhupada ji would always many times give the example of Lord Jesus Christ. That's also a very beautiful example. हम किसी भी प्योर डिवोटी का एग्जाम्पल ले लें, वो हमारे लिए बहुत ही ब्यूटीफुल एग्जाम्पल है महाराज जी. हरे कृष्णा.
Yes, sir. Very beautiful. As you said that Krishna, the point which I wanted you to expand, that Krishna's interference is not apparent. He does through through Mother Parvati, correct here, and through, and so still the Krishna's way of interference is only through his mostly through his pure devotees,
Correct.
and otherwise what we see sometimes that Krishna induces asadhus, demoniac people with a demoniac mentality to do asadhu karmas, just to expedite their journeys. If somebody is going down to like in the wrong direction, then Krishna expedites his going into wrong day so that he reaches his bottom and come back eventually. And but we see that, that in case if somebody comes in touch with a pure devotee, he will always just try to pull him up. You know. So this difference we find that our taking shelter of a pure devotee Sri Guru is more important. It is a speciality.
In
Because
fact,
he will induce
yes,
only to do the good work, or to do the move, push us towards devotion, pull us away from the undevotional or detrimental, or but Krishna may not do that, you know.
yes,
So,
Maharaji.
so Krishna, like that, what is the person who who came in touch with Narayan, you know, he got the curse, he got the boon that by Lord Shiva, that whosoever he touches his head, he will die. Right? And he wanted to
Bhasmasur.
just taste of Vitrasur? No,
Bhasmasur.
Bhasmasur, and he is another name. Okay, Bhasmasur. So he has think that he took the advice from Narayan, correct? And Narayan caused the havoc for him. What I mean to say, that Krishna is doing sometimes apparently it's, degrading, or asadhu karma inducing. Krishna sitting in the heart of and from asadhus, he makes them, he convinces them, yes, they are doing asadhu work is very wonderful, correct?
Yes.
So Krishna's dealing is very, very funny, and but a sadhu, or the pure devotee, no matter who he comes in touch, he will always try to pull him up. So that's why our fortune, trying to, rather than directly, personally, or apparently insisting that I will talk only if Krishna talks to me, or I will surrender only if Krishna tells me to surrender, or Krishna shows up. And because he does not acknowledge, does not realize that Krishna has already manifested his desire to meet us through this Sri Guru, but in the conditioned state or in the immature stage, if a sadhaka does not understand Krishna's way this way, that's why Sri Guru is one of the manifestations of Krishna. But if he insists only that I will surrender only if I see God the way I recognize him as Shyam Sundar or this and that, it's very essential that we acknowledge Sri Guru's status as the customized manifestation of Krishna. So it is greater than Krishna directly coming as Shyam Sundar, because this is how, when something is customized, we better value it the way it is given, and not insist on my different way. Like that. Thank you very much. And that's why the scripture say that for sadhaka, for the disciple, only Guru Kripa is desirable, because Guru Kripa is Krishna Kripa, and not separate, make a separation of Krishna Kripa is any different than Guru Kripa. That was the point he wanted to emphasize, so we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Maharaji. So beautiful. Hare Krishna.
Shyamchandra Rauji, please.
Hare Krishna, Shrikant Prabhu, Dandat Pranam, Jai Shila
Dandavat
Shripad
Pranam.
Maharaj, Jai Shila
Dandavat
Prabhupada.
Pranam. Jai, 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 Jai.
Very nice to hear you again, and wonderful class, Prabhu. Thanks a lot for
Thank
giving
you very
us
much.
some information, knowledge. So, talking about this chastisement, we normally highlight how the sadhaka should take the chastisement based on the all the lessons that we are learning now. But rarely we discuss about the chastiser, in what mood he is chastising. I mean, I'm not referring here to somebody like a guru level. He could be a senior who is chastising a junior. If that senior is situated in the mode of passion, rajas gun, then his style of chastisement would be different